Actions are a powerful way to allow Slippity to control or be controlled by other devices or inputs. You can see when actions are applied to a slide as there will be a little lightning bolt such as this that appears in the upper left corner of a given slide. So if you long press the slide and select slide actions, you can see there are three types of actions. There are labels, triggers, and commands. So label is pretty self-explanatory. This is any way you want to designate a slide with a label. You can adjust the color of it to your liking, and that will update on here. Another type of action is called triggers. So these are incoming triggers that will cause this slide to go live once this external event is triggered. So for example, we have MIDI inputs. And so this could be, say, from you're running Ableton Live or Multitracks or Loop Community Prime, and you have MIDI signals coming out at designated times to change your slides. This would be a place where you could do that. You can listen for the MIDI, assign the trigger, and then whenever that is received from your network device, then boom, it'll trigger this slide to go live. Another type of trigger we have is called time. This is where you can set up a specific time for that to go. So say if you had a countdown video that you wanted to start 5 minutes before your service time, you could schedule that to begin at the appropriate time. Another type of actions now are commands, and these are what happens when you trigger this slide in here. Now, this also happens if the slide has been triggered from an outward source, the commands will still apply. But you know, if I'm just stepping through and tapping slides, this is the commands. This is what causes commands to go out. And there's three types of commands that you can send when you trigger a slide. One is a go to next timer. So say if you want to run announcement slides or something like that, you just want to have the slide automatically advance after 5 seconds. You can watch here. I'm going to go here. Now I'm going to go trigger this slide, and in 5 seconds it should automatically advance to the next slide. And so it does. All right, so back in on the slide actions, talk through the other type of commands we have are MIDI. So you can actually send a MIDI command or signal when you trigger this slide. Say if you're wanting to control a light board, lighting console, or you're wanting to send MIDI actions to another instance of Slippity on another device that's networked. This is how you can kind of send a MIDI command when triggering a slide. The other type of command is called webhook, and this is just kind of a fun way to, who knows, if you're a programmer and you like to build APIs, or if you use the web service if this then that, you could create a webhook that will cause the lights in your living room to dim when you hit the slide or whatever. That's just kind of a fun way to trigger other things from Slippity. So that's a quick look at slide actions in Slippity.